Secretary Raimondo, it's great to see you, and just want to add my thanks to you for your leadership in carrying out the CHIPS and Science Act, which without question is a critical investment in our competitiveness and national security. But as I have spoken to you before, a core part of the legislation is onshoring the U.S. supply chain for mature semiconductor chips to lower prices for consumers, create jobs, and ensure that we're prepared for future disruptions that we certainly saw during the COVID-19. There's no better example, in my mind, for the need for this than the automobile supply chain. You know, during the pandemic and afterwards, American auto companies saw supply chains cut off. When you were in Michigan, we talked about this. You saw cars lined up in parking lots, all ready to be delivered to customers, except they were missing a chip or two. And therefore couldn't be delivered, and that ended up with higher prices. Used car markets went up, really significant disruption from mature chips, not the highly advanced ones, but the mature ones. And that's why I authored and fought for a provision in the CHIPS and Science Act that sets aside $2 billion to bring supply chain for automotive grade mature chips that we also use in our military systems as well as medical devices, as you well know. So I'm glad that see your department has made that one of your strategic priorities as well. But with that in mind, I have just a couple of questions for you. First off, Madam Secretary, can you share what steps you're taking to ensure that the CHIPS Act incentives are not exclusively claimed by leading-edge chip manufacturers, while mature nodes that we need in automobiles and other everyday products stay offshore?
Yeah. So thank you for your question. Thank you for your advocacy on this. The CEO of Ford told us that last year, employees of Ford, I think it may be in one of their facilities in Michigan or in the Midwest, only worked a full week twice in the year because of lack of chips. Mm-hmm. So they couldn't even, for example, put the windshield wipers together.
Right.
So it's unbelievable. As you say, there's a $2 billion set aside for legacy. We have put out a strategy paper, which is public, I'm happy to get it to you, suggesting that we think that there will be multiples of $2 billion invested in mature and legacy, you know, $8+ billion into that area. We've put out our funding application. We've received over 200 statements of interest from legacy providers. We're in constant contact with medical device companies, car companies, et cetera. So we'll stay in touch with you. Everything I've said, you know, will be public and available to you. But I think I can confidently say it will be much more than $2 billion, and we're looking at it very carefully.
Well, that's encouraging. That sounds great, and I look forward to continuing to work with you. And